From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Friday, August the 2nd, 2019. A total of 32 parties officially have now submitted their electoral slates to the Central Elections Committee. The deadline was yesterday for all the parties to register ahead of Israel's national elections coming up on September the 17th. Last election in April saw a record 47 parties registered. Some of that discrepancy is explained by more parties having merged ahead of this election. Some 6,000 Palestinians gathered near the Gaza border fence today. Israel's Khan public broadcaster reported that some broke through Hamas checkpoints in Gaza that were in place to keep protesters and rioters away from the security fence. Rioters threw rocks and explosive devices towards IDF troops who responded with riot control measures. Several rioters were said to have been injured. Confrontations were reported this morning at Jerusalem's Western Wall. One Haredi or ultra-Orthodox protester was arrested after he allegedly attacked the head of the conservative or Masorti movement in Israel, Yitzhar Hess, who said a bunch of enraged Haredim surrounded me and started pushing, kicking, and spitting and tore my talit, prayer shawl, off of me. Hess said his kippah and talit were both thrown to the ground and trampled on. Hess was at the wall in support of and alongside members of Women of the Wall for their monthly prayer service. The group advocates for equality of worship at the holy site. Well, police in Montreal are looking into an incident that took place this week, an alleged anti-Semitic attack, much of which was caught on security camera video. The Canadian Jewish News reports that a Jewish man, asked to be identified only as Aaron, who was wearing a kippah, arrived at the condominium where his parents live in the Saint Laurent borough and found the entrance to the garage blocked by a taxi. When he honked at the taxi, the driver yelled that he would not move for any expletive Jews and yelled threats at him in English and Arabic. Aaron parked and went to take a photo of the taxi's license number, at which point the taxi driver got out of his vehicle and attacked Aaron, punching him several times in the face until a condo supervisor intervened. The driver's employer fired him and issued an apology to the Jewish community through the Center for Israel and Jewish Affairs, who said they are confident that the incident will be thoroughly investigated and, as the case may be, prosecuted. Kelly Craft was named this week as the new U.S. ambassador to the United Nations. Craft, who previously served as the country's ambassador to Canada, replaces Nikki Haley, who said last year that she was leaving the post. Leaders of the Conference of Presidents of major American Jewish organizations, Arthur Stark and Malcolm Hoenlein, released a statement of congratulations to Craft. They said, "We are confident that she will represent America's interests with distinction at the UN, and we look forward to her continuing the efforts of Ambassador Nikki Haley to call out and confront the blatant and discriminatory anti-Israel bias in that international body." President of the World Jewish Congress, Ronald Lauder, echoed the sentiment, adding that the state of Israel and the Jewish people rely on the continued support and friendship of the United States in these perilous times of rising anti-Semitism and anti-Zionist sentiments. Traffic came to a standstill in Warsaw, Poland yesterday to remember the nearly 200,000 victims of the Warsaw Uprising, not to be confused with the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising. This was the unsuccessful attempt by the Poles to drive the Nazis out, which began on August the 1st of 1944. Germany's Foreign Minister Heiko Maas attended the 75th anniversary, asking the Polish people for forgiveness. Maas said, "I'm ashamed of what was done to your country by Germany and in the name of Germany." And Israel's National Library this week released rare photos of Polish Jewry just a few years before the vibrant community was almost completely wiped out by the Nazis. The photos were believed to have been taken in 1933 by a French veteran of World War I who was traveling through Poland with a group of fellow vets. The 15th European Maccabi Games are underway in Budapest this week. 2,300 Jewish athletes from 42 countries are taking part in this annual event that is often referred to as the Jewish Olympics. World Jewish Congress President Ronald Lauder addressed the opening ceremony, telling the competitors, "This is a time when we desperately need leaders, courageous leaders who will stand up for our people. And here you are, all together in one stadium." The Games are the European regional version of the Maccabi, or the World Maccabi Games, which are held in Israel every 4 years just following the Olympics. Taking a look at our programming now for tonight on JBS for Friday, August the 2nd. Kabbalat Shabbat services are coming up from the Hampton Synagogue, followed by services from Central Synagogue. Then it's the film Israel Inside. At 10 o'clock, Israeli entrepreneur Errol Margalit talks about the Israeli innovations and their effect on the economy. At 10:30, it's Musica with Sagiv Cohen. And coming up right after this newscast, educator Avraham Infeld discusses the meaning of Jewish, followed by a look at this week's Torah portion. And that's the JBS News Update for Friday, August the 2nd, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader. Shabbat Shalom.